That's a great tee-up question. Okay, so I'll take us back to July, where we all went to Bellevue and we heard from Microsoft things like you must be a frontier firm, everyone should build an agent, you must be customer zero. Um, and they coined the term frontier firm in MCAPS. I was on with one of the top partners in the world yesterday. He's like, Microsoft doesn't even know what it means to be a frontier firm. They're working on that, and they'll come up with tools and stuff like that. But the truth is, Anya, AI is upon us personally and in our respective businesses, and it is impacting SIs and ISVs, albeit differently, but the impact is there today. So while we got strategy from Microsoft in July, what we're doing on October 19th is we're taking an 8-hour curriculum designed for the owners of practices, founders of practices, but more specifically, role specific in sales, marketing, and alliances. So I'm looking for that one step down if you're a practice leader, but you're doing sales, marketing, and alliances, or if you're an owner and you're doing sales, marketing, alliances, but the content is intended for that one step down to help partners with understanding how to make this move. It's our definition based on the agenda of what we think partners need to know. And then I'll double click on the agenda and I'll tell you what I mean by that and what we're trying to achieve with the agenda.
Right. So tell me a little bit about how large of an audience you anticipate and some of the highlights of the agenda.
Yeah, we're expecting 150 to 200 SIs and ISVs, or SDCs as they call them now. I loved your post on that, by the way. And so that's our target attendance. And then what we're doing with the agenda is I actually love the agenda and I'm passionate about the agenda. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure partners understand the AI regulatory environment. Because if you're going to be a thought leader and you're going to have conversations with your customers on AI, if you don't know what's happening in the regulatory environment, then you're going to be challenged being a thought leader. And so we have a 30-minute segment with a woman named Marian Breeze. I know her very well. She's with a company called Userlane. She's a member. She's an invited member of something Microsoft calls Voices for Innovation, where Microsoft invites a select number of people to keep them abreast of regulatory issues so that they can be leaders in the community. I'm actually a member of it. They bring us into Redmond once a year. I really like Marian. She's going to bring a partner on stage to talk about it. And so that's one session. We're going to have Neural Impact, Joe DeHaai from Neural Impact, who is one of the founders of Junction, went on to RSM for a number of years. And those of you that don't know Neural Impact, they're a leader in this industry. It's all about neuroscience, right? How people think. But they have a framework that they're going to deliver on selling in the AI era. And then what I'm really excited about, and this is a theme, Anya, that we're gonna carry through the event. We have a 2-hour marketing track, and the 2-hour marketing track, what we're going to tie together for partners and the marketing people of that partner is how it's critical today, more critical than ever, to understand. Think of 3 concentric circles: business process in one circle, intertwined with industry knowledge in a second circle, intertwined with knowledge of AI. And I feel very strongly passionate about this. I'll tell you a story in a minute, that to be effective as what we're calling a frontier firm, Microsoft hasn't coined this, maybe they will. You got to know business process, you got to know industry, and you got to know AI. And that's a foundational concept that we're gonna start the day with, and then we're gonna carry it into the marketing track. So Rachel Profitt from Microsoft is gonna get up and say, hey partners, if you're not aware of it, here are different business process documentation and tools we have that can educate you foundationally on how Microsoft thinks of business process. Marie Wise is going to take that content and say, here's how you build a marketing campaign with these 3 concentric circles. And then Sam Bush is going to follow with saying, we've heard about the 3 concentric circles. We know the tools Microsoft has. We know how to build a campaign. Sam's going to take it one step down and say, here's how you build an ABM plan with this knowledge. So I'm super excited. It's innovative. It's an innovative topic, I think, today. I'll just share the story. I was on with one of the top partners in the world. He's been Inner Circle for 20 years. He's a guy that I highly respect. He's been in this industry. And he's like, Joe, should I come to this? What is it about? And when I shared with him what we're trying to do in the marketing track and the overall theme of tying together business process, industry knowledge, and AI, he's like, I'm in, and I'm bringing 3 people with me. I'm bringing my head of marketing, my head of sales, and my head of alliances. So that's how strongly, I get reinforced when leaders in the industry react like that. So yeah, and then in the afternoon, what we do, we'll have Eric Fink and Ross Ladwig give us an update on how to sell with Microsoft in FY26. We then have an hour 45 on alliances. Very specifically, we're trying to bring content together about different types of alliances today. I've asked a gentleman named Paul Solski. He's ex-Microsoft. He runs AIM Consulting. He's heavily involved in IAMCP to help me with that hour 45 block on alliances. So we'll talk about different alliance models, why alliances are more important than ever, and then we'll move into a couple examples of alliances and then a framework. And then we'll wrap the day with a Get Your Hands Dirty session by Dwayne Robinson, who will take us through how to build an agent, which is one of the things Microsoft said everybody needs to do back in July. The only thing I left out so far is a fireside chat between John Siefert and Cecilia that will really kick the day off. So that's the agenda. I feel very strongly about it. Who I want, I see an exclusive audience. To me, it's not about the company, it's about the person and the person who really wants to learn to get ahead. And so I'm looking for a high-powered audience to attend and be engaged. We do want to make it very workshoppy as much as we can. So less content, more hands-on with deliverables. And that's what the day is about.
So how large are you hoping this event will be, or how small, how intimate are you hoping that it'll be?
Yeah, it's always a challenge. The direct answer is I want 150 to 200 partners in the room. That's what my goal is.
Great. Yeah, and it was announced relatively late. I'm sure it's a huge amount of work for your team to pull this all together in such a short amount of time. So, but there are definitely partners who've rearranged their schedules and are going to make this happen to be there for that event. So, you have quite a few Microsoft speakers. How involved was Microsoft in kind of the vision and the planning and wanting to get this message out there, or is it really, the vision from DCI?
Yeah. To be honest, it's more about the DCI vision, crafting the agenda, and with Microsoft filling in areas that we think would really complement it. Anya, I look at this stuff every single day. And the partner I was on yesterday, I referenced earlier, he was at a session last week. He's like, we want to have an inner circle of frontier partners. That's our goal. That's what we want. And this partner went to him and said, what does a frontier partner look like? We're still trying to figure that out. And that was a conversation yesterday that he had a conversation with a Microsoft leader this week. So, and that's fine. They have to speak to the masses. We know AI is here. We've heard Terry Petrozelka at BizApp's Partner Executive Summit say, and trust Terry, he's been in this industry, he's a veteran, like in 2 to 3 years, partners that are not making that shift, he's worried about the business health of these partners that don't jump onto it. You could see signs in many places, even Charles Lamanna is saying BizApps is dead. Satya is saying Microsoft is no longer a SaaS company, it's an AI company. So it's here. We could be in early days, I get that, but partners have to get ahead of it. And I think this is a more radical change than what we saw with the movement to the cloud. So that's what our goal is to create community events to help partners with this stuff.
Excellent. I think that's great. Is there anything else that you'd like us to know about that specific partner day or even the broader summit event?
Yeah. Well, the broader summit event starts the next day on October 20th. We are on October 19th. It is in the Gaylord. It runs from 8:20 in the morning to about 6:15. We'll end with a reception and cocktails and networking. Summit kicks off the next morning. I am hoping that many of the partners that are attending, here's my biggest challenge is just visibility of this. There is a lot going on that week. There's a lot going on that Sunday. There's a GP to BC workshop. There's academy classes. There's an SMC event that's happening in Dallas. So my biggest issue is just getting the word out, which is why I appreciate this opportunity for you to do this, and hoping that you can take this and help leverage your network to be aware of it. I'm available many hours a day to take phone calls and to talk through the content and the event and what partners could get and who partners should attend. I've done about 24 calls already, and partners really kind of get the agenda when I share it, and more importantly, who from their firm should be attending. So yeah, I think just helping get the word out and making sure partners know that this is an available resource. And if people hit me directly, I'll provide a discount code if that helps financially, because it is $7.99 right now. It is set to go up to $8.99 on September 15th, I believe, or September 11th. So I want to be able to help wherever I can on that.
That's excellent. Well, you heard it here first. Call Joe.
Call me,
Great.
text me, call me, email me.
Great. I look forward to seeing you there, and I know your team's doing a lot of work to make this valuable for partners.
Yep. Thank you, Anya. Thank you for being the voice in the community.